Hey everybody, it's Blake with Full Circle Realty Group. I'm here with Brian Holiman from Nova Home Loans.
Hi Blake, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Well, thank you.
All right, so we actually just did a price reduction on our beautiful home out in the foothills in the ravines, and now it's listed at $549,900. But Brian's here to tell us a little bit about how you can actually get into this home, different down payment options and different options that we have. So Brian?
So Blake, there's really three primary ways we can do this. We can do a VA loan. This house is eligible for VA, which means a no down payment. And if the seller's willing to do some help with the closing costs, that means the veteran can get in this home with no money down and no money out of pocket. So that's a beautiful thing. Then the second option is an FHA loan. FHA, we can go up to, I think it's 600 and something, and I have to double check because I haven't done one that high in a while. But again, a low down payment, 3.5%. And if the seller's again willing to play ball, we can get them in with just that down payment. Additionally, there are a few programs that we might be able to use as down payment assistance for this particular home. And that would mean maybe even no out of pocket for that particular loan type as well. And then of course, the last one is conventional, and we can go anywhere from 5% up to as much as you want to put down. And again, seller paid closing costs, just your down payment out of pocket.
Okay, so when we're talking about down payment, when do people have to have their down payment ready to go?
Great question. A lot of people think they have to put that in up front, and that's really at closing. So if the escrow takes 30 days, you'll bring your down payment at the end to the closing table.
Okay, so we also talked about conventional loans. Typically, those are 5% down, right? What other options do people have for conventional loans?
So 5% is the normal. You get mortgage insurance with that, so you need 20% to avoid mortgage insurance. But if you put down around 7 to 10%, we have some crazy options that we can kind of hide that mortgage insurance, and it'll be a lot less expensive than paying it monthly in your monthly payment.
I've heard that mortgage insurance is forever. Is that true? Once you have mortgage insurance, you can't get rid of it?
That is incorrect. So on a conventional loan, once you've paid the balance down to 78%, it will automatically drop away. And then if you do a large principal reduction, you can get rid of it then. And if you think the value of the home has gone up enough, then you can call the lender, ask for a review, and potentially get it done sooner.
All right, so you mentioned buyer's closing costs. So I can tell you that right now we're in a market where sellers are typically helping with closing costs, but not always at the same time as helping with a price reduction. So typically we see people choose either a price reduction or asking for closing costs. But can you kind of tell us what people can use closing costs for if the seller plays ball, kind of like you said before?
Sure. So from a lending standpoint, I often have people ask me if we should ask for a discount and also ask for closing costs. And I've always found that to be problematic. It never really seems to work. So realistically, you really want to ask for either the closing cost or a discount on the sales price. And which one is appropriate for you depends entirely on your personal situation, how much cash you have available for the transaction.
So what do people typically use closing costs for? So when we say closing costs, another word for that in the contract that we use is concessions. So seller's concessions and closing costs are typically the same thing. But can you explain what closing costs can be used for if they do get a credit?
Sure. So we can pay for the appraisal. We can pay for title and escrow fees. We can pay for homeowners insurance, property taxes. Any fee that goes with the loan, we can pay. We can use the seller credit to pay for that. And if we have enough left over, we can maybe even potentially put some toward buying the rate down, if there's any left over.
So when we talk about buying the rate down, are we in an environment right now where you're seeing that happen a lot? Are people buying down their rate with these concessions?
Yes. It depends on where they're at and how much they need their payment to be versus whether or not we're actually going to do the rate buy down. So it is happening. Probably not as much as it should, but it is happening.
All right, Brian, now that we've talked about different options for how to get in this house, do you want to go take a look?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.